Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Heath Allen. We're here this afternoon and we're talking about the Ozone Music Foundation. A lot of people have heard about it. Maybe you don't know everything about it, but we're going to learn this afternoon. We have three guests this afternoon who can fill us in on everything about ozone and what it means to St. Tammany, this community, and the surrounding area. We have Mark Johnson, who is the mayor of the city of Covington.
Yes, I am. Good to see you.
Right about that. And what year would be your title here in the parish?
I'm the Director of Cultural Arts and Events for the City of Covington.
There you go. And Martha Red, of course, you are the president of the Covington City Council. And happy to be here. Let me throw this first question to you, Mayor. What does an organization like Ozone, what does it mean to the city of Covington? Covington, of course, kind of the heart and soul, perhaps, of St. Tammany.
The Ozone Music Festival brings in artists that draw people from not just in its immediate surrounding area, but further out. And sometimes we forget St. Tammany Parish is 1,000 square miles. It's big, from Folsom all the way down to the Wrigley's. And so having an event that is strong enough to draw people from across the parish into the city really helps develop the fabric of the entire community, the entire parish, as opposed to just more Covington-centric events.
Kind of builds something that makes people feel good, too. It's uplifting, if you will.
Yeah.
Sharada, talk a little bit about what it means to what it does for the parish, or the city of Covington, for this region.
Well, in terms of economic development, it brings a lot of people to the streets of Covington when we normally wouldn't have a crowd downtown, which is fantastic for our restaurants, our bars, for our shops. And, there's nothing cooler than to walk down the street and see a guy with a guitar strapped to his back, and then you walk a few blocks down the road and you see somebody singing on the corner. It is just everywhere that you go in the city. It's vibrant. It brings electricity to me.
Mark, just the idea of, for the city of Covington. One thing about Covington, a lot of things go on the south side of the lake, but a lot of people stay in the city of Covington to enjoy those. What does Ozone do for the town?
First of all, Ozone is over 100 artists who come to our city and perform for 3 days. And you put together 10 or 12 stages. You put together songwriters who are pouring their heart and soul into their art. This is a wonderful event because, as Sarada says, you can walk down the street and it's like a mini Austin, Texas to a large extent. Piggybacking off of your comments, Covington's a destination. We have restaurants and bars and shopping, and people come here and they stay. And they no longer visit for an hour or two. They're going to stay for the weekend. And so it's an economic development, but it is also an ability for Covington to showcase Covington with these artists.
Talk a little bit about the economic impact, because as y'all were saying, Covington is huge. I mean, St. Tammany is huge. Slidell on one side, Covington on the other, Mandeville. But this is something that breeds economic impact parish. Why?
The more people come to Covington, the more they appreciate what Covington has become. Covington is a hidden gem. And as most of the people in Covington say, just don't tell anybody else about it, right? The more people are exposed to Covington, the more we can help facilitate these artists to showcase their talents.
So many events and so many stages that are kind of opportunities for young talent, for young writers. What does it mean to the young?
To me, the impact to not only the young, but the new writers, the new songwriters, for me, aside from being 100% naturally grown, Covington pours into these guys, and Ozone is not just a Covington-based thing. We had to woo you guys to get here. We wanted you so bad. It took me a year to get you guys to come, and we are so blessed to have you because of the young talent and because of the talent that Ozone brings from across, from a regional standpoint. So, to me, Ozone is just something that is unique. And it is parish-wide. So Ozone is not just in Covington. It's in Mandeville. It's in Slidell. But to me, what we're able to offer, we're just the perfect place, the perfect home, if you will, for Ozone. That's what we want.
One thing we know about St. Tammany, this region, music is no stranger here, and you have all kinds of different music. So it offers all opportunities to young people from every walk, from every ilk. What does that mean for you when you're in the network of your city, when you have opportunities for young folks?
We are really seeing a renaissance of that 35 to 45-year-old age group in Covington, which so often when we talk about Louisiana in general, we talk about the brain drain, we talk about people moving out. But the cultural events that we have in Covington, not counting Ozone, over 100 free musical acts every year in downtown Covington. And these are family-friendly acts where these young families can come in. They can come in with their kids, sidewalk, chalk in the streets, all of these things. It's just becoming a really wonderful place to work and to raise your family.
It's a focus, is it not? Absolutely. Anything like that to the city of Covington?
Quite frankly, over the last 50 years, there's been a concerted effort for nonprofits and governments to not be on the same page. And we have in Covington, across the board, worked very hard to find those people who are doing a good job, and government can work with them and facilitate. We can assist with the police protection. We can assist with the barricades. We're looking for a good host for them to be permanently here in Covington, and Ozone fits the bill.
This reflects well on this parish. It reflects well on the city of Covington. This gets you out of necessarily just say the St. Tammany Parish. It gets you out. What does that mean as far as other things, as bringing other kinds of events or opportunities to them?
Well, to piggyback off of what Councilman Barrett was saying, we've developed a formula where the organizations actually have the mission and the passion to do the events, and the city comes in and does the support for those events. It in some ways it feeds on itself. To your point, more and more coming in. As mayor, I actually find myself in the position of having to tell groups no on a regular basis now. That no, you can't come in and do a 5K run. You can't come in and do another concert because we're I don't want to say saturated, but we're able to be very selective about what we're bringing in.
Been very successful because the renaissance of downtown Covington to make downtown Covington have the appeal that it has and look as it does. This has been over a quiet period of time, and now I got to see the fruits of that labor.
Like I think the renovation of the Southern Hotel may have been the tipping point. We have a philosophy, the council and my administration, that in order to attract new business, you facilitate the success of the existing businesses. You make sure they're successful, and you won't have to go look for others. And that has certainly been the case. The lifeblood of the city's finances is the sales tax. So when we talk about economic development and we talk about Ozone Music Festival, bringing all these people into our hotel rooms, into our restaurants, into our art shops, and spending a little bit of their money, that is what funds the city. And so it's a positive spiral. The more funds we have, the better events we can do. The better events we can do, the more money we have. So it's really appreciated of the Ozone Music Festival.
So does this success that we've been seeing in this area, does it make it more difficult for you to be, or more selective, or how does that impact?
Well, just like Mayor Mark said, it does allow us to look at the organization and see how long they've been in business and see what type of events they've done in the past. And it gives us an opportunity to say, yes, you're a good fit, or no, you're not. And sometimes they may be a great fit, but our calendar is such that it's very hard to squeeze anybody else in. So I think that in terms of helping or making it easier, it is easier just because we are so full. I don't think that there's a weekend that we don't have something going on in 12 months. So if you can think, can you name a weekend? I can't name a weekend. I don't know.
No, and sometimes it's 2 and 3 things.
3 things, yes.
Yeah, on the same day. Yes, I know.
Yes, yes.
And as you can see, we actually pay attention to it and nurture it. So there's a reason for that, right? That people want to come here, and we have a city government and a cultural arts department that works with these nonprofits. Because look at what the Ozone Songwriter Festival is. It's people who are showcasing their talents, who have written the songs and may not get that recognition for the actual singer. So not only are you walking around listening to live music, which in and of itself is pretty good, you're listening to the actual artist that created that movie.
And it's the artist who's now getting an opportunity to put it on a stage. Those stages of those venues are absolutely so important. You think you call yourself a destination point already. You're looking at an opportunity to make yourself an even bigger destination point, an even more specific destination point as more and more people hear about what happens here with Ozone and the success that it has. Do you measure some of the other events that come here against the success and against, I guess, the integrity of the Ozone Foundation?
I would say that we measure each and every one of them. We do a debrief after any major event and talk about what was good, what was bad. And we have parted ways with some organizations and said, no, you don't meet our standards. And then that allows us to do things like bring in the Ozone. Covington Heritage Foundation, which you're the president of, does the History and Holly Home Tour. They do the characters downtown at the cemetery. There's just those type of events. So we're able to pick and choose which ones fit the history, the culinary, and the live music that's the hallmark of Covington.
How does Ozone fold into what you into the heritage part?
Very good point that was brought up by the mayor, because it grew out of the bicentennial. And when Covington had its bicentennial, it recognized the need to go back into its own archives and see its beautiful history. We have a town square. We have a main downtown area that has developed with a lot of planning correctly. And so tying into this, culture, character, and community. What fits? What events fit for our community that showcases our culture, our character, and the community? I cannot think of one better than the Ozone Music Foundation and the Ozone Songwriter Festival.
Ozone, to me, in terms of the way that they are run, is top-notch, very professional. Everything that they do is incredibly professional. And it is a joy to work with from someone in my position, because I'm the first line of defense, right? So I get all the problems. If there's a problem with the community, if they don't like what they see, or if someone's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, then I'm the first one to hear about it. And Ozone does a phenomenal job of coming in and taking care of not only our residents, but also our businesses, and making sure that everybody's on board and everybody is aware of what's happening. And to me, that means everything.
So let's follow that up just a little bit. The venues, the businesses that embrace Ozone, that provide a stage for these artists, they benefit.
They benefit greatly, not only from the people that come to watch the music, but also just having that culture, that electricity in their space is phenomenal for them.
And it means dollars.
Yes, it does. It does. It does.
Well, and customers that may have never been in that restaurant or that venue previously, they come in to see that songwriter, and they're like, oh, well, this is, within a radius of 5 blocks of the Covington Trailhead or the Southern Hotel, we have 24 restaurants within a walking radius of 5 blocks. No franchises, no national chains, all locally owned. Half the time the chef is in the kitchen. So the Ozone bringing those folks in to see that restaurant for the first time, to taste their cuisine for the first time, that leads to repeat business. Covington, we have centuries of history. We have incredible live music. We have great cuisine. One of the coolest cities in the Northern Hemisphere.
So is it exciting for y'all to be involved with this?
Absolutely.
What's the excitement?
The excitement is that you have, and you just said it, about showcasing different musical genres, if you will. We don't have to go out and recruit and build a set list or a cast of characters that are coming. The professionalism of the Ozone Music Foundation does that. It is quite shocking, in my opinion, that they did not have a permanent home. I'm so glad that they had chosen Covington, and I'm so glad that they have partnered with us. So we recognize what a great festival it is, but also what the foundation does on a yearly basis. It's not just one event.
Well, I'll tell you, and you can talk about, it's not just one event. This is a year-round thing that offers expertise and education and kind of a guiding influence for people in this industry. Well, what does it do?
And for youngsters.
Right.
Yeah, they've got a very strong youth program. I believe they set up one of their venues.
That's right.
Is set
At our Firehouse Center,
Yeah.
they actually have a program for just very young youth.
And that's for the future. So it's not something that just happens once a year. This is groundwork that you see down the line, just like you guys built downtown Covington. It's just part of the future.
Nashville South is what everybody says. And I said Covington. We're putting a little Covington into Nashville South, I think. So
Do y'all attend? Y'all go to
absolutely.
Absolutely. Each and every venue, and try to meet as many people as possible who are here to play and showcase their talent. And for those people, as the mayor said, who may never have come to Covington before and want to know what else there is to offer.
What kind of feedback do you get?
Positive, positive, and positive. And that's no joke. That is spot on. People constantly come up to us on a daily basis and tell us what a good job we've done with Covington. And our reaction is, no, it's all of us. It's all of us doing this together.
No. People who came before us.
Absolutely.
We're building this on the, we talk about the historic downtown and the architecture of that. That's people from 30 years ago that started putting in those ordinances and those rules about what do we want to look like today.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a huge, the reaction I got was, we had a band playing at the Trailhead, one of our concerts, Lost in the 60s. So as mayor doing the introduction, naturally I went dressed as Elvis. And I can see the resass. Yeah, well, later Elvis. But so afterwards, I go out in the audience. I'm taking some pictures, and I've got friends from out of town, from Metri, and we go over to the Siler, and sitting in the corner, preparing to perform with his band the next night, John Oates. He and his band are in the corner, and I walk in, and I'm Elvis. So I walk in, and I walk over to their table, and they're just beaming until I say, "Hi, I'm Mark Johnson. I'm the mayor of Covington." And now they are just on the floor. They're on the floor. So yes, we got a really nice reaction from John Oates when the Mayor Elvis welcomed to the city.
And look, that shows you the strength of what can be attracted to the city of Covington and to St. Tammany Parish and to this whole area. They come down here, they don't walk away and not talk about it.
That's Ozone. And that's
Ozone.
That's Ozone. We had him because of Ozone. So there's
And those musicians go back to wherever they came from. I think we had from 14 states last year, if that's correct. 14 different states. When they go back, they say, look, you need to check out Covington. It's a great host city, great venues. And they have come back. A large portion of them have come back and asked to play.
So it's interesting. The word of mouth of the people that go back, they spread that as well. So I mean, this is something that you're building now that has legs for the future, and it's something that has that spider web effect with the nut right in the middle being Covington, Louisiana. It's just another step. What do you see with Ozone going forward? 5 years from now, 10 years.
We expect it to grow along with Covington. One thing about it, 100,000 people consider themselves to be residents of Covington because 60,000 people around us have a postal address that says Covington. Fact of the matter is there's 12,000 people in our city that are registered voters who love the fact that we have top-notch entertainment and events here, and people come here and spend that money, and it allows us to do the infrastructure needs that we have, the public works needs we have, and so that Covington grows as these nice festivals grow.
When you look at the Ozone Music Foundation, that helps you bring in other positive kinds of events and organizations.
That's right. It does. Absolutely, 100%. I think that we actually are, I think for a fishbowl, I think people are looking at us saying, what are they doing that we're not? I do.
Oh, I know that Covington in itself has always kind of been that fishbowl because people have always been looking for the alternative to New Orleans. And Covington is, for years, as you say, been building itself to fill that bill, the safe, secure, heritage, culture, music, all those kinds of things that you can put on the north side of the lake. It's a successful partnership. What you say, Mayor?
It's certainly, as we alluded to previously, it's when you get a great organization like Ozone, like the Rivers Art Festival, like the British Motor Club, like the Antiques and Uniques, which is a CHF festival, and we let them be them, and you let the city just support them and give them the foundational needs that they have. And then it's a synergistic relationship, kind of trite, but it's very, very successful. And we see with the Three Rivers Art Festival, we see those same artists wanting to come back. With the British Motor Club and that car show, those people from across the Gulf South want to come back year in and year out. And I think Councilman Verrett was right when he's saying some of the singer-songwriters participating in Ozone Music Festival, let's put that on our calendar. We want to come back to Covington for that.
And as that happens, even, you're kind of stair stepping, aren't you? You're bringing those names get bigger, the bigger names come back. It's even a larger. It becomes a larger attraction. It's the kind of thing that the city of Covington is looking to build, but it does. It radiates out and improves quality of life, I would think, around the parish, right?
Tremendously.
Is there something that people, if something that people should know about Ozone and its relationship with the city of Covington that maybe I didn't ask you about that you think people need to know?
Where's the term ozone come from?
I have no answer to that question. Sky's the limit, right?
The pine trees.
Okay.
So in the early 1900s, Covington was selected as the healthiest place in the United States to live. And the reason for that is because the pine trees put off the ozone, the fresh air. It was felt to be good for your heart. Yes. And so that's the relationship. So that's the relationship now. So the ozone air from the pine trees is good for you. The ozone music from the foundation is good for you.
I'm not sure exactly what else do you add to that? What do you have anything else that you would like to add?
Other than that, we're so excited that they call it home. Ozone is definitely, will always have a home in Covington. So other than that, I don't know what else to say.
Mark, you get one last shot?
They can emulate, but there's only one Covington, and as the mayor said, it's good for your heart.
Good for your heart, good for your It's just good. It's just good. All right. That's a look at the Ozone Music Foundation, its relationship with the city of Covington, an ongoing relationship, and how it positively impacts St. Tammany Parish and the entire surrounding area. So if you had a question about it, I hope you got it answered.